for this Week 10 matchup. The Saints come marching into Tennessee. But will they return to New Orleans with a win? We'll find out next on EA Sports.
Being located in the Music City, this building has hosted a lot of great music acts since its inception. But this is what she was made for, NFL football, and that's what we have today in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Now come the Titans for their first possession, led by Ryan Tannehill in his 10th NFL season and 3rd with Tennessee.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Michael Pruitt, the big tight end, is intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. So here are the Saints now with great starting field position. They're led out by their quarterback out of Northwestern University. It's Trevor Siemian.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions.
No,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8, Siemian. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. Throwing on 3rd down, Siemian. And this is going to be incomplete. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because
under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Cameron Jordan It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. On second down, Peterson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays. Back to throw, Tannehill. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. And the Titans are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. From the 8, they've got it 1st and goal. Here's Tannehill.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's a give to Peterson. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Adrian Peterson. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans have taken a 1st quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. On the return, Deontay Harris. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive.
5-3, their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the 2nd half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple of things working against them, and number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Simeon.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They give it to Peterson. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that is caught by the back judge right there to say incomplete. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Simeon incomplete on 1st. Here's 2nd and 10 now. to Simeon. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Harold Landry in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing 3rd and long. Now Simeon. That's caught by Marquez Callaway. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
It's caught. Smith. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. 2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. From the gun on 3rd, Simeon.
He'll find its tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On first down, it's Simeon. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Rashad Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there.
Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it?
They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Here's Kamara trying to run for it.
The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it.
It's picked up by the Titans. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was trying to do anything he could to get that final little bit for the first down. Instead, he lost the ball.
Yeah, and he was short of the first down, but not by much. Trying his best, as you noted, to get there. Sometimes that extra effort can cost you.
Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. He's over 40 yards here.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Following the fumble recovery, Simeon. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
He'll drop this down to Peterson. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And all the way down to the 27. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Simeon. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Simeon looking middle, and it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, Simeon. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he runs.
It's a Titans touchdown. Adrian Peterson, 76 yards. And the Titans are going to retake the lead. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
Will it good on the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. The offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
Danico Autry in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, and those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. First overall pick, Trevor Lawrence with 2 touchdown passes. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Amari Cooper, a touchdown reception. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. And meanwhile, for the Titans, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Here's Harris to return it. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get out to the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Now here's a throw that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Simeon. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Simeon incomplete on first. Here's 2nd and 10 now. To the air again, Simeon. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. Now it's Simeon. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Jeffrey Simmons in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing 3rd and long. And this one is incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10, Tannehill once more. Got his man, that's the Pro Bowler Julio Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. 49 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. He gets it left side to Johnson. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 15-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. From the red zone now, Tannehill. Incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Back to the ground, Peterson. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the 4th quarter. From the gun, here's Tannehill. That is caught inside the 5. And the Titans are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Peterson. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2nd and goal from the 1. Here's Carter. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Titans add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Harris to return it. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Now a first down throw, Simeon. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. From the 36, Simeon. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Danico Autry, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing 3rd and long. To throw is Simeon. On the check down, he finds Kamara. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. He'll rifle this one deep right side. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. But he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I tell you, from our broadcast booth, because we're pretty close to the 50, we had the best view, a bird's-eye view of that throw, and it was an absolute thing of beauty to watch. Never ceases to amaze me, the arm strength of these guys.
On 1st down, Simeon. Wide open receiver complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Simeon now to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Juwan Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So here are the Titans to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat of this ball game as well. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Tannehill. Throw left side complete. That's Cox. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That catch good for only a couple. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll try and wind down some clock with Peterson. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now it's Tannehill. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Whistles now in a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So all eyes on the Saints offense. Down by a field goal, 1:44 to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Simeon now to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. Now it's Simeon. Open man is the tight end Troutman. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. That's complete over the middle to Callaway. And the Saints are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. Not much there, only a yard. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. A give. This is Kamara. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And his kick is indeed good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dime. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Taken at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Throwing on third down, Simeon. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He finds his man, complete. It's Peterson. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. Here's Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Overtime with less than 2 minutes to play, and we are still all tied. Here's Brett Kern now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Man, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Simeon. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And that might be Titan football. It is. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder, maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So as it turns out, a two-play drive resulting in the field goal. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Titans, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Houston Texans next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.